On this episode of American Travelers, we're in Nashville, Tennessee, now a favorite place for bachelorette parties.
Hi, Dave and Carrie here. Our goal for this series is to inform and inspire the average person to travel.
We'll show our viewers how to travel to popular destinations in an affordable way.
Coming up, we visit Carter's Vintage Guitars, where Dave tries out a few high-end guitars. Next stop is the Musicians Hall of Fame. Then we see country artist Morgan at the famous Tootsie's Club. Today we're at Carter's Vintage Guitars, and I'm going to go play some guitars. Carter's is known for some high-end guitars. A lot of pro musicians come here and scope out collectible guitars and amps. As you can see, there are rows and rows of guitars. They are grouped by brands and models, so it's easy to find what you're looking for right away. Of course, it's always fun just to look at everything here. Carter's has a great selection of vintage amps. I remember some of these from my band days. Looks like some newer models here as well. Anyone interested in a stand-up bass? And they have mandolins too. This is a beautiful 1968 or 69 Paisley Telecaster. I had one that was pink. Now this is a nice selection of bass guitars and pedal steels. As I did come to check out some guitars, we went into the room with the most expensive guitars. This is a Robin Ford guitar. I'm not sure who makes it. I think it says Fender on there, but I've never seen one before. It was fun to play and it had a good feel. I'll keep that one in mind. We did end up buying a Carter t-shirt as a memento though.
Thank you.
Another stop to check out guitars is the Country Music Hall of Fame. It's also a museum, but this trip we didn't have time to take the tour. When buying a guitar here, the money helps support the museum. So as soon as you walk in, the gift shop is to the right. They sell a few collectible guitars like this 1954 limited edition Gretsch replica that was created for Chet Atkins. This one sells for $3,700. The original is on display in the museum, and I'm sure it's worth a lot more. They have more reasonable priced guitars like the one I'm playing here. This is pretty nice, but I really have my eye on that white Gretsch acoustic the guy is playing behind me. He's glommed on it for the last 20 minutes, so I think he's going to buy it. Guess what? We stopped by the next day and it was still there. In fact, you heard this guitar on the first part of this video.
Hi, this is Joe Chambers. If you're in Nashville, be sure to stop by the Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum.
Everything you wanted to know about the history of radio, musicians, and recording studios is in this building.
The first thing you see is a cool wall painted with guitars. I wonder if any of these belong to famous musicians. We start our tour with a room full of antique record players and radios.
Around the corner, we walk over to the Stax Records part of the museum. This is Al Jackson Jr.'s drum set. He was the founding member of the Stax house band, Booker T and the MGs. B.B. King recorded here as well. Another great drummer is Michael Shreve. At 20 years old, he was the drummer for Santana at Woodstock.
Talking about drummers, my Dave played several gigs with Glenn Campbell's producer Al DeLore.
Here's a great photo of guitarist Mark Knopfler sitting on the steps of the Quonset Hunt studio. Roseanne Cash recorded here along with Patsy Cline, Johnny Cash, Tammy Wynette, Simon and Garfunkel, Elvis Costello, and the Byrds.
Dave remembers recording on vintage equipment like this studio console and Ampex tape recorders like this 2-track recorder and this 8-track recorder. These were state-of-the-art in those days.
In the 80s, recording consoles and tape decks were upgraded to these. This is a display about Bob Welch, the guitarist for early Fleetwood Mac and his 1967 Gibson guitar.
Throughout the museum, you will see displays about other musicians like Jimi Hendrix, Elton John, and the Rolling Stones.
We really enjoyed our visit here at the Musicians Hall of Fame in Nashville.
When possible, travel light. Not only do you save money at the airport, but also taxi cabs are starting to charge per bag. The best way to pack light is to use wrinkle-free, quick-dry clothes.
And always put your name and phone number inside your luggage in case it gets lost.
Coming up, we see country artist Morgan at the famous Tootsie's Club. We really appreciate you. Please subscribe, give us a like, and leave a comment. We'll get right back with you.
How are we feeling out there on a Sunday afternoon, guys? It is a beautiful day in Nashville, Tennessee. If you're having a good time, make some noise. Come on. All right. Can't get much better than this, I promise you. When mama said, baby, be careful, I didn't quite understand. So I fell right into his arm and his brown eyes, his smile, and the hat in his hand. And I said, "Now, mama, where did I go wrong?" He said that he loved me too. She said, for all of the reasons he's gone, I promise I'll follow them. And just like it seemed like it came out of nowhere, you leave like a thief in the night. There's always somebody else in the dust on the trail of his horse with a tear in her eye. Honey, I don't know why. Cowboy is right. They ride like the wind, they ride on in the sunset. They ride, there's a rock under hand. Three little kind of fences or arms that can hold them. They don't have to stay where they and just like it seemed like he came out of nowhere, to me like a thief in the night. There's always somebody else in the dust on the trail of his horse with a tear in her eye. Honey, I don't know why. Oh, cowboys ride. And just like it seemed like he came out of nowhere, he'll leave like a thief in the night. There's always somebody else in the dust of the trail from his horse with a tear in her eye. Honey, I don't know why. Oh, cowboys ride. I fell right into his charm and his brown eyes, his smile, and the hat in his hand. That's an original song, y'all.
That's a damn good song, ain't it? Make some noise for Morgan.
You guys are too nice.
She wrote that.
Our next journey is to Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is located at the Canadian border in New York.
We arrived at Seneca Niagara Resort and staying for a couple of days to check out the falls. Here's a view from our room.
We're in the town of Niagara Falls and walk through the park to get to the river. The American Falls is located on the American side of the border, and the Horseshoe Falls is located on the Canadian side.
Here we are at Niagara Falls State Park. Just amazing how the power of this water is. You don't see this every day.
We decide to take the plunge and go on one of these to get a closer view of the falls.
They provide us raincoats to help stay dry. We climbed up to the crow's nest. You get a little sense of the fall's power right here. It's really exhilarating to see this in person.
After a good soaking, we're traveling to Whirlpool State Park right up the road. We take the trail down to the river and see this sky trolley traveling across the river. The first cable car crossed the Niagara River in 1913. Thanks for watching American Travelers. We really appreciate you. Please subscribe, give us a like, and leave a comment. We'll get right back with you. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.